All right, my videographer just tried to run out of the screen, but we are going to be doing an oil change on CAT 299D3XE. This is going to be the initial oil change. I've got a right at 110 hours on it. CAT recommends changing it at 500 hours, but I just really want to go ahead and do an oil change for the break-in. Just kind of show you around on the machine. So this is the engine compartment. One of the reasons I chose this machine is because ease of access. There's the oil filter, and so we're going to put the pin in the door here, and I've already kind of loosened these bolts up, but this is the panel that you need to open up. It's the center panel, and these are 13 millimeter. And once we get these off, you'll be able to see everything. As you can see, I'm having a hard time holding the camera, but the person that's supposed to be holding the camera took off running. But I don't know if any of y'all have daughters, but she took the camera. Now I've got two hands. All right, this is off of a hose, and I'm not sure which one. I think there's a drain hose up in here for the coolant tank, and maybe it's came off. So let me do a little investigating, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, so I found a hose, and this cap fits on it perfectly, and from what I can tell, I traced it down, and it looks like it comes off somewhere in front of the motor. So, you know, if somebody knows, you can kind of leave in the comments, but I read somewhere in the manual there was a hose to drain the coolant, but I can't really tell where this ends up at. But again, this cap fits it perfectly, so I'm assuming that's what the cap's for. I'll find out sooner or later if I'm right. I'll give you guys a shot before I hand this back, but this is the oil drain plug, and a 7/8 fits on it. It might possibly be a 23 millimeter, but I don't have a 23 millimeter handy, and the 7 millimeter fits it pretty snug from what I can tell. But I'm just kind of letting you guys know what you'll need. Again, 7/8 or possibly 23 millimeter, 13 millimeter for the bolts, the oil filter for a 299D3XE from CAT is the 3776969. Then I've got my filter wrench here. This is the oil. According to the manual, it takes a little over 3 gallons. We'll see what it takes when we add the filter as well. But first step is make sure that you've got your engine warmed up. So don't change this thing on a cold engine. So we've got the engine warmed up to normal operating temperature, and we're going to go ahead and drain the oil. So we'll tuck this hose up out of the way so it doesn't get oil on it. Trying to get a good tight shot of the oil coming out. All right, I'm not, I've said this in the other videos, I'm not big on editing videos, but I just want you guys to see we're not really doing any edits. I'm just turning the video off so you don't have to watch the oil being drained and whatnot. But again, look how easy this oil filter is to reach. I just put my hand back in here and it spins right off. So, you know, big thing is, if you'll notice, this engine compartment's really clean, and the machine's got, like I said, 110 hours on it. I think it's, you know, really like 109 point something, but I'm keeping everything really clean. I cleaned it all up before I started to change the oil because I don't want any contamination in there. So got the engine compartment really clean, the machine clean, and now we'll go ahead and we'll wipe off, you know, around where the oil filter goes, make sure that's clean. Then we'll put a little thin film of oil on the gasket. CAT recommends 1 full turn after you contact. All right, so we got a new filter. We'll take the plastic off. Again, you want to make sure you keep everything clean, no contaminants. I'm going to open this gallon of oil. So all I'm going to do is just get a little of that new oil and just put a thin film on this gasket. Doesn't need to be a lot, just a nice thin film. So now we're going to take the oil filter, and you know, we want to be careful that we don't get any contaminants in here, even though we've got the engine compartment clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in upside down in case I knock anything off from above. And we cleaned off the base. So all right, so we're right here and we're in contact. So I'm going to bring it around 1 full turn. I'll grab the wrench. Alright, we're snug down 1 full turn. Now we just got to put the clean the oil plug off. We'll put it in and we'll put the fresh oil in. So alright, so getting ready to pour the oil in. And even as clean as the engine compartment was, you can see this little O-ring here. There was still a little bit of dirt that was around, you know, the top of the filler here. So I was just really careful and wipe that off. Got my funnel nice and clean. So we're going to start adding the oil. Plugs back in, filters on. And so we'll start with the 3 gallons. And then we'll start the engine, let it run for a minute, check for leaks, and let everything drain back into the crankcase. And then we'll recheck the oil just to make sure we don't need to add a little or take some out. But I think if we start with the 3 gallons based on what the manual is and the fact that I changed the filter, we should be pretty close. So so we'll do this, and then I'll be back when we get the oil in and when we do our leak check. And we've got another daughter crying, so we'll have to address that as well. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and start it up and check for leaks. Let's turn the key, darling. Okay. Wow. So that's big stuff there, big step. We'll have to wipe the engine off a little bit more, but everything's oil filter looks good. I went ahead and wiped this down. Got everything off. And, I'll wipe it down some more, but you know, it's always good to have everything clean so you can see if there are any leaks. But and you know, this engine's idling right now, and it's amazing to me how quiet it is. But you know, I see all these videos talking about Bobcat and how easy Bobcat is to work on, but you guys watched me change this oil. I showed you every step. I just didn't show you the drain time and the time to fill it. But literally, in terms of overall effort and work, it's a 10-minute job, maybe, I don't know, maybe 15. You'll see when we get the video done. But like I said, the only parts you're missing is what the time it took to drain it and to refill it. Caterpillar does recommend taking your filter and cutting it open and looking for any type of you know, metal flakes or debris or anything like that. So we'll open the filter up and look at it later. But that's how you change the oil on a 299 D3XE. And like I said, it's extremely simple and doesn't take long at all, and everything is very accessible. So I don't think you could ask for an easier oil change on a machine. So anyway, I'm looking forward to doing the 100-hour review, but I wanted everyone to see really how simple it is to change the oil on these things and service them.